Let's taste two Pinot Noir red wines. This one, the first wine, is a Burgundy Pinot Noir. It's a Pinot Noir from Burgundy in France and is from a specific village in Burgundy called Volnay. The second one is a Pinot Noir from New Zealand and is from a specific region called Central Otago in the South Island of New Zealand. Let's taste them together. For the appearance, they are similar. The Burgundy Pinot Noir, it has medium ruby color. And for the New Zealand Pinot Noir, it also has medium ruby color. Let's smell. We are smelling the Burgundy, the Volnay Pinot Noir from France. The aroma intensity on the first nose, you would not think is very pronounced because it's not jumping at you. But actually, if you put your nose just over here, you can smell quite a lot of aromas. So I will still say the aroma intensity is pronounced. It mainly has lots of red fruit, such as strawberry, raspberry, red cherry, some red plum. But on top of the fruit, it has lots of interesting spice like cinnamon, clove, some vanilla, some toast, but not tons of vanilla, right? A touch of vanilla, some toast, some charred wood smoke, those kind of aromas. It also has some woody, almost mushroom aromas, almost like forest floor, those kind of earthy, mushroom-like aromas. Let's smell the New Zealand Central Otago Pinot Noir. It's the same, like on the first nose, it's not that obvious, but now lots of aromas are present on the nose, so it's pronounced aroma intensity. It has similar fruit aromas, but it's kind of sweeter. What does that mean? It means that it also has strawberry, raspberry, those kind of red fruit, but it smells riper. This Burgundy fruit smells like fresh strawberry, fresh red cherry, but this New Zealand one has riper strawberry, raspberry, red cherry, red plum. It also has this kind of similar spicy notes like clove, cinnamon, vanilla, smoke, toast. It also has a hint of mushroom-like earthy aromas, but not as strong as the Burgundy Pinot Noir. Let's taste the Burgundy one. It is dry, high acidity, lots of acid. Now we talk about tannin. This one has medium level of tannin, but the tannin texture in the mouth is quite interesting. You can definitely feel it there, but it is not that rough, not that astringent. I would call it fine-grained tannins. Medium level of fine-grained tannins. Alcohol is medium. Body is medium. It's not that strong, but it has the power, so it's medium bodied. And the flavor intensity is pronounced. It's more obvious on the palate. Has a lot of red fruit like red cherry, strawberry that we talk about. And also it really has some lovely spice. Clove, cinnamon, licorice even, and some forest floor earthy mushroom flavors. And those flavors, the fruit, the spice, the earthiness, stays in the mouth for a long time. I can still taste all of them. So it's long finish. Let's taste the New Zealand Pinot Noir from Central Otago region. It's also dry. The acidity is also very high. I'm still salivating a lot. Tannin is very interesting. This wine has a bit lower level of tannin, but it's still there, so I call it medium minus level of tannin. But the tannin texture is even more different because the mouthfeel of the tannin is riper, more soft, or more round. So I would call it soft and ripe medium minus level of tannins. The alcohol is medium, and the body is sort of the same, it's medium bodied. But on the palate, it's kind of different because this medium bodied is actually having more of those kind of ripe, sweet sensation, not from the sugar, but from the ripeness. Okay, so medium alcohol, medium bodied, and the flavor intensity is still pronounced. Lots of red fruit, but ripe red fruit, and some spice like clove, cinnamon, but the earthy aromas is even less prominent on the palate, so it's more about the fruit and the spices. Finish is equally long, it's more about the fruit and the spices on the finish as well. So Pinot Noir is the thin-skinned black grape. So when you make wines out of Pinot Noir, it's rarely that dark or deep in the color intensity. And the tannin is never that high as compared to, let's say, Cabernet Sauvignon that we're going to talk about in the future. So it has those kind of medium to low tannin, lighter color intensity due to the thin-skinned nature. And it tends to show high acidity. It loves to grow in cooler climate regions like in Burgundy, North France, and in Central Otago in southern part of New Zealand, because in southern hemisphere, the more southerly you go, the cooler it is. And it's more about the red fruit flavors such as strawberry, raspberry, all of those kind of things are reflected in the wine. In terms of the vineyard, the growing environment, there are differences in between these two wines. They are both high acidity, medium alcohol, yet for the tannins, for the flavors, they are different and they reflect the different climates. For the Burgundy one, the fruit, the red fruit is more fresh because it's cooler. And for the New Zealand Central Otago Pinot Noir, the red fruit is riper because Central Otago, although it's a cooler region, it's relatively warmer than the Burgundy, than the Volnay village in Burgundy. Also, the tannin of the Volnay from the Burgundy has a bit more fine-grained texture. In comparison, for the Central Otago Pinot Noir tannins, the tannin is riper and rounder in the mouth. Therefore, it shows a bit warmer climate feeling because the tannin has a bit rounder texture in the warmer climate. And for the Central Otago, it's also interesting because the heat and all this kind of temperature, higher temperature, is not necessarily from the overall latitude. It's actually from the intense sunshine. So there in New Zealand, it has lots of sunshine. Therefore, you can really ripen the tannins and make it rounder and softer on the palate. Lastly, a bit about winemaking. Pinot Noir, because of this kind of red fruit, this kind of delicate aromas, thin-skinned, it never likes a lot of new oak. Therefore, in these two wines, it has this kind of touch of spices like vanilla, clove, cinnamon, licorice, all that. They are coming from less new oak, but more neutral old oak to integrate all these kind of flavors. So for Pinot Noir winemaking, in most cases, the winemaker loves to add a touch, a small percentage of new oak to elevate the complexity, to elevate the spiciness, rather than dumping lots of 100% of vanilla toastiness in the wine. Cheers.